In 2016, anybody can be a journalist with social media outlets, but at the Democratic National Convention, it's a little more important for delegates and reporters. We're here to find out how they report and receive their news. Primarily, I'm going to be looking at, there'll be some stuff on Twitter. I'll try to check the major mainstream news outlets, but take those with a grain of salt. And then just kind of generally on Facebook periodically, there'll be kind of those updates and that kind of thing. So I try to get a wide berth of information and then figure it out from there.
So because I write about television, I am working with all of the different publicists of all of the different stations and channels in order to discuss when we're going to meet up, what we're going to talk about, things like that, and find the story behind the media at the DNC.
So I get my news, I get like New York Times updates on my phone, Twitter, Facebook. I'm a big like social media kind of person, and so I always like to stay updated that way.
Going to different events, seeing what's there, talking to people, getting info, and just got lucky last night. Nancy Pelosi, the minority chairperson, was at the Congressman Bob Brady's party at the Sugar House Casino, so we didn't know that, but we just went anyway because he's in our coverage area and figured readers might be interested, and sure enough, there she was. So
almost everything is digital. I mean, whether it's on my phone or on my desktop, it is just the pace of what we do here. You're always sort of on the move, whether you're walking on the convention floor or going to meetings with other party officials uptown in Center City. So you're always just sort of looking at your phone, seeing something that somebody tweeted, looking at an email because you've got 50 coworkers here who have seen something else that a competitor has said and emailed it around. So it is almost entirely digital.
Social media mainly. If it's like local stuff, if it's like stuff from like the DNC and things like that, then I'll go to like CNN. I won't do Fox. No Fox, never. Or like bloggers who I know are credible and things like that.
So I did Facebook Live at one of the protests earlier a little bit, tweet occasionally, and then generally speaking try to synthesize thoughts into like a Facebook post, that kind of thing.
My Snapchat presence is very strong, and so I've been sharing my experience at the convention via Snapchat. But definitely when I get back and I have time to reflect on my experience, I'm going to share it in a more formal way, potentially like a blog, Facebook, etc.
I'm reporting my news just by doing some basic interviews. So I just talked to Scott Pelley from CBS News and his executive producer, who is kind of the guy behind the scenes who runs everything. He also happens to be from Philadelphia, so got to talk to him about. He said some pretty hilarious things about hasn't seen a bloodbath like this since the last Flyers game he went to, things like that. So it's been pretty fun.
Live updates on social media, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. And then we have a photographer who's roaming around the area, snapping photos whenever he can.
Because I'm only 23 years old, so a lot of my news is like Snapchat, Facebook, videos, go live, things like that. So every once in a while I might do like a LinkedIn for my professional friends, but mainly just Snapchat.
Reporting, we have a team of anywhere from 5 to 10 people every night who are just inside the hall, inside the Wells Fargo Center, just walking around, mingling with delegates, talking to delegates, and pulling out their phones and just zapping it into the editors behind us here, who will then take a cut, paste, slap it into either a live blog or a rolling story that we call a lead-all. That is sort of the main story that'll be on our website all night.